how important is it to build a team and to delegate the tasks that you can't handle?
I think once you realize and you come to the understanding that you are not the center of the creative universe, it makes life a hell of a lot easier. And what I mean by that is, especially with newer creators, especially newer creators in niche markets that are seeing people kind of see themselves, like see them push themselves forward and stuff like that, they think that they have to do everything on their own. They think they have to know everything. They have to know all the lighting, all the technique. They have to own all the gear. They have to do everything. And what ends up happening is that fundamentally, not only does it help you, it burns you out, but at the same time, the separation between you and those bigger, more highly esteemed opportunities is having a team. And it makes a lot of sense to have somebody that's better than you at something working with you than working against you.
Yep.
That all to be said is finding teams is kind of the hardest thing in the world because there's so many skilled people out there that the criteria can't be on skill alone, right? You have to be able to find people that if we're done set and we can kind of like leave, can I hang out with that person? That's kind of the criteria that I use when I have team members. Like everybody's super good, and truthfully speaking, and I hate I don't like sounding in a way of hubris or being high up on myself, but I think since a lot of these opportunities have come up, a lot of people have reached out and asked to like be on set and shoot behind the scenes content and stuff like that. But a lot of times there's like one or two words that somebody says in that kind of like that proposition that I'm like, you're not here because you're here because you're looking for a come up. Um, and it complete and the thing is when you read it, you completely step out of it. The person can be one of the best creators in that space, or that could be the best option, but the second you read that, you take yourself out. And that's where I started
Hmm.
to realize that I would much rather have somebody who's a 7 out of 10 on the scale, but a 10 out of 10 as a person, because they'll learn it eventually,
Yep.
right? Like, I
Yeah.
had no I graduated with a finance degree, not knowing how to use a camera until I was 26, and and this is what I'm doing now, right?
Fuck.
So somebody who's 6 or 7 out of 10 are just learning, but they're unreal on set. They're great persons. They're super helpful. They don't come into set with an ego, and they're willing to learn and do stuff. Those people are the ones you keep because I'm still new in this thing, right? It's only
Hmm.
been what 3.5 years. Somebody that might be 2 years in, but has a personality that they kind of know where they know where their bus is driving to. I'd way rather have those people on set, and it's nice because at least when I'm in the states, I have a lot of those people around me. When I'm home, I'm just not home enough to kind of build that infrastructure around here, and I'd like to. And I'm literally just got off a conversation talking about doing that a lot more now. But yeah, when that's one of the biggest things. Like it doesn't like everybody's good now, right? It's like when I don't know if anyone played university sports, but every person on that team is the best kid in their high school. Every single person. Everyone is the best kid in their
That's
sandbox.
true.
So you're in a group of the best kids in your sandbox. So how do you know which one you pick? Same thing with right
Yeah.
now. There's so much information now. There's so much high quality gear that's relatively inexpensive and relatively accessible. Like small rig makes tripods now. You know what I mean? Like that's how accessible things are. Everybody makes
Yeah.
everything. So how do you discern people that have the best gear and the best quality stuff, who's just the best quality human being, right?
Yep.
The One of the best advice I ever got is this whole cinematography creative life stuff is not the business of who makes the best content. It's the business of who can cultivate the best relationships.